Well, good morning and welcome. My name is Heidi Denning and this is Full Potential Fridays. And for the next 10 minutes, we are going to be sharing a shot of inspiration and practical strategies to empower you and your team. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Nina Mapson Bone. Good morning, Nina. What are we focusing on this morning?
Good morning, Heidi. It's so lovely to be back here with you on Full Potential Fridays. And today, given that it's World Kindness Day, we're focusing on leading with kindness, one of our favourite topics, I'm sure. So, Heidi, tell me, what does leading with kindness mean to you?
Look, I think we could all agree that this year we have seen some of the best of human behavior as well as the worst of human behavior. And I think we all will know which end of that we want to be on. And I think, especially as leaders in organizations where there has been such a change in how we go about doing our daily business, where we're all kind of scrambling, so busy, trying to get on top of this new norm that we're dealing with, that having those moments, taking that pause, just to be able to recognize and acknowledge and compliment the big things and the small things that our team members do is absolutely crucial. I mean, I think as leaders, it is up to us to be on this kindness bus. Now, that is my thing for today. It is up to us to be on the kindness bus, all of us. And whether we recognize, reaching out to a colleague who's struggling or doing a great presentation or winning a new customer, whatever it is, it's absolutely crucial we take that time, even when we feel that we don't have the time to do that. And Nina, I'd love to hear your thoughts of that, but I just thought it would be really great, since it is World Kindness Day, if we could all have a think about somebody who has been kind to us this year and give them a shout out in the comments, so we can spread some more kindness on World Kindness Day. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more, and I wish I could type. There's loads of people I could recognise, but all you'll do is hear me typing. So I'll encourage everyone out there to tag people and comment on things that other people have done for them around kindness, because it's such an important topic. And I couldn't agree more, Heidi. That idea of complimenting, recognising, acknowledging, celebrating, kindness costs nothing, right? But that's the stuff that actually makes people want to put more discretionary effort in. So it's good business sense as well. So it often astounds me that people don't kind of get that concept. So, let's really try and help spread that kindness today on World Kindness Day. I think that leads us nicely to the second point around kindness, Heidi, which is that you can be quite creative in terms of the ways in which you're kind, and it's easy for us to be kind to the people that we naturally align with or we naturally get on with. But sometimes it's a bit harder if we're a bit irritated by somebody or we're in a bit of a slump ourselves. So I think one of the tricks around being creatively kind is kind of that idea of disarm with charm and be genuinely interested in people. Really make it your mission to win someone over. If they've annoyed you, make it your mission to sort of rise above it and be the best version of yourself. And the old adage, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I guess I'd love to hear from you, Heidi. How do you go about doing that? How do you go about kind of creating those connections?
Look, I start with making sure that I am having non-work conversations with people, genuine conversations, because I am interested in their whole self. I'm not just interested in what they can do for me every day. I mean, if we do that I don't think that's kind at all. We need to have genuine and meaningful conversations with the people we work with to understand this. And I'll never forget, I mean, it's quite a personal thing, but I remember probably over 10 years ago, I had a staff member who was going through IVF, and she didn't want anybody to know about this at all. I mean, there was, lots and lots of cycles of it. But she shared it with me. She trusted it with me because we'd already had genuine and meaningful conversations prior to it. We'd already been kind to each other as we both had been trying to fall pregnant. And I just think it's a great example just to show that it's kind of this build of trust that allows us to have meaningful conversations with the people that we work with. So at the time when we need to support them, we can be 20 times more effective.
I couldn't agree more. And you know what I love about that, Heidi, is that you talk about meaningful conversations, and that actually ties in with the first point we were talking about in terms of actually, if you're trying to be kind and you're trying to create that connection where you're celebrating and recognizing, sometimes if you're struggling or if somebody is irritating you, having meaningful conversations can mean that you find a connection that you didn't know you had. And sometimes it can lead to a whole level of understanding of that person that perhaps you didn't realize before, and can really change how you think about them. We say at work here on a regular basis, we're always talking about the fact that most people, nobody at Beaumont and most people in the world, don't go to work every day to deliberately annoy their colleagues. Like, that's not their mission in life. So if we treat everyone with kindness and we create those meaningful connections, it can make a really big difference.
And I love what Tula has said there. She said there is a perfect quote: "Sweet words open iron gates." Oh, I love that, Tula. And so true. As leaders, our words have a ripple effect through our team. So even when, as you were talking about, Nina, when we're feeling short and cranky and tired and overwhelmed, we have to remember that it is our job not to let that out. We have to be kind. We have to continue to be kind. So thank you, Tula. That is excellent. We're getting some great comments through here. Annabelle, couldn't be more important during these difficult times. So be as kind as possible. Yes. But Nina, being kind doesn't mean that there can't be performance management. It doesn't
That's
mean
right. Yeah. And that's the thing sometimes people struggle with, is that you can be both kind and tough. And as a leader, you actually do need to be both sometimes. Ideally, you don't have to do the tough very often, but there are times when you need to be. And there's a skill to being tough but still being kind. And my hero in this forum is actually Super Nanny, of all people, because I think the way if anyone remembers the programs and the way she approaches children is not that different to the workplace, right? Because we've all seen some tantrums in the workplace in our time, haven't we? And so the idea being that as a leader, if you kind of set boundaries and make the boundaries clear around what's acceptable behavior in your workplace, what the expectations are, and then try and make it as much fun as you possibly can with as much kindness within those boundaries. And if somebody steps out of the boundaries, absolutely addressing the situation with whatever the consequences might be, and being kind of non-movable on that, but doing it in a kind way. Being firm, being tough doesn't mean you can't do it with respect and professionalism. And I think that's the ultimate kindness, because what that does is then bring people back in to that level of connection, and actually helps them get better and learn how to deal with certain situations. What would you say to that, Heidi?
I couldn't agree more. I think, we all need our boundaries, but we all need to understand how we can continue to grow. And if someone is delivering performance management, or whatever you'd like to call it, to us, if it's done in a blame and a shame kind of way, we're never going to be able to grow from that. We don't grow from that type of feedback. We grow from leaders being kind to us and sharing with us what we're also doing well, of course, because that's important to be able to do. So that's why, exactly what you've said there. It's okay to still be tough. Doesn't mean you are unkind when you're doing it. It's just how you approach it that makes the big difference. So I think, Nina, we're wrapping up. We're at our 10 minutes, and I love the quote about, in a world where we can be anything, be kind. And I think that's a beautiful way for us to finish, because it is so true. For all of you who are watching either now or later on, if you would like to understand if your team is reaching their full potential, we have a very quick online scorecard that you can do, fullpotentialteams.com.au. We'd love to hear your feedback on how you're going with that. But Nina, what have we got going next week? What can everyone look forward to?
So next week, Heidi, I'm really excited for our 10-minute shot of inspiration for Full Potential Fridays. We're going to be talking about leadership, but why it starts with self-leadership. So regardless of whether you're actually in a leadership role or not, it all starts with self-leadership, because that's what makes you the best leader. So a great topic for our Friday shot of inspiration next week, Heidi. Really looking forward to it.
Me too. And thank you, everybody, for being here today. Please continue to tag those your colleagues or your leaders who have been kind to you as we come off this call, because I think that today on World Kindness Day, there's nothing better than to share a little bit of kindness to everybody. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Heidi. Bye.
Bye.